Welcome to Manawaker Studios Flash Fiction Podcast. I'm CB Derogi. A quick note before we begin. Flash Fiction Podcast is supported by Manawaker Studios patrons on Patreon. Patrons of Manawaker Studio all get access to weekly stories and other content in the patron feed, and supporting at a higher tier includes a subscription to Manawaker Books. To find out more, or to become a patron, visit patreon.com/Manawaker. This week, In Whose Soil Bodies Rest, by Rebecca Havens. "Be less timid," he screeched, most unbecoming on his way out the door. You wouldn't guess this started as a love story and ended as a war story, would you? "Fuck you," I muttered, mostly under my breath and entirely to myself. I was dismantled for a long time. A few years later, when I woke to a different time and place, timidity evaporated, vapidity evaporated, sanity gone, and eyes aglow with a fire they couldn't put out, I realized that he hadn't served me, not at all, but I had served as the scapegoat in his life. Just as cross paths serve to cross paths between one thing, another, still yet another, and from whence we came, he was right. I'd been timid. But moreover, he'd been wrong, overly eager to jump to conclusions and too ready to dedicate his life to choices and big grand gestures that hadn't ever worked out. Now I do things in small ways, things like code A and B so people can pay for service C, and help Tibetan students go to college in China. Geographical lines in the sand demarcating where is where, who is who, and which bodies rest in whose soil, souls sold cheaply. Now he sells furniture at IKEA down south. How loathsome. And in an economy that doesn't value its humanity enough to pay to keep it alive, healthy, flourishing, he is not alive, healthy, nor flourishing, not when you see his eyeballs. His soul was sold cheaply, too. But as he is not Tibetan, I do not mind, and go about simply coding A and B so people can pay for service C, and no one sees me as timid anymore because I've killed people, and no one tells killers in whose soil the bodies should rest. This has been In Whose Soil Bodies Rest, written by Rebecca Havens. The Flash Fiction Podcast theme song is by Kevin MacLeod. I'm CB Derogi. Thanks for listening. Episode 0147. Production copyright 2016, CB Derogi and Manawaker Studio.